right. How's everybody doing out here? I pray that you all are blessed. Let me do it that way. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. Pray you all are blessed. It is another day that we are on for walking through the Bible. Again, I hope that you all have had a great day. It's been a busy day here. Good evening, prophetess, mom. Good to see you. So again, we're in the book of Job, and right now we're in Job chapter 35. Excuse me, to 37, and I'm going to pick up real quickly. I'm not going to be super long with this tonight, but I'm going to pick up again where we were with Elihud, who was not really one of Job's friends. He was a young man, and through these last three chapters before, and these three chapters, really six chapters that we can read, like I told y'all this before, that when we read the Bible, chapter and verse is for our breakdown. They weren't talking like, I'm stopping now, I'm in chapter, and sometimes some of these chapters are not like, they can be all in one sentence, and a chapter can be a year apart. So like, but again, with this young man, he begins to talk. When we talked about yesterday in Job chapter 32 through 34, he is speaking a lot of truth to Job about what was going on and even some of the things that Job was saying. But here's the interesting thing that I think is very important that I want to kind of give for application tonight as you're reading or as you have read today. There are a lot of things that Elihud says that is true. But what starts happening is that while he's talking, there are some things that he is saying too as well that are starting to reveal his immaturity, his character, his disposition towards Job. It's so interesting how everybody had something to say about Job. But this young man started falling into a place of his arrogance is starting to be shown, right? There's one verse, and I have it even from our book, one verse that actually talks about how he begins to say on God's behalf, even as he begins to refer to himself as perfect in knowledge, even though he says things about how God will allow adversity to help build up those that have been afflicted, right? Like there's things he's saying that are truth, while at the same time, while he's talking, he's bleeding out his arrogance. And so the thing about it is this man carries on for a long period of time, young man. And by the time he gets to the end, Job really doesn't give a lot of rebuttal as he did towards his friends, but he's giving really not as much rebuttal to someone who really, not that this person doesn't matter, it's that this person is not his friend. So a lot of times you're expecting your friends to be there, like I said before, to support, to build you up. But this young man is saying things, and again, like I said, he's revealing depths of his character through his conversation. So I think this is very, very important that we don't just grow in our knowledge or our wisdom of God or being able to say things about God that are true, but also we got to make sure that when we're saying things, that it's also connecting to the very fabric of our character and who we are. And this man is showing off the complete opposite through the things that he says to Job in Job chapters, like I said, 35, 36, and 37. He begins to say things that are very much conceited. And again, like I said, there are some things that he was right about. There's some things he's right about the word of God. There's some things he's right about concerning a little bit of the situation. But again, his arrogance and various things he starts saying about himself are starting to be revealed in what he is saying. So, as we're getting to this, we're getting towards the end of Job. But again, I'm not going to say anything else more than what I've said already. I'm just covering the fact of what we see happening to Elihud and what is being said and what he is saying, that it's truth mixed up with falsehood becomes some of the falsehood is coming through by the things he is saying that's revealing his character, revealing who he is. And so one of the things, like I said, is stay true to God, but when I stay true to God, I stay true and growing in God and knowing what to say, what not to say, when to say, and also how to say it. All right? All right, I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of y'all day in Jesus' mighty name.